Join me as I dive into the world of fantasy literature and review some top fantasy authors you might not even know about. There are countless amazing fantasy authors out there who deserve our attention, but often get overshadowed by more popular names in the industry. All but one of these that I'm going to share today, I've never even heard of before I started this channel, Fantasy for the Ages. I'm here to shed some light on these gems and help you discover fresh voices in the world of fantasy literature. When it comes to finding new authors, readers often face a daunting task. The fantasy genre is incredibly vast. Popular titles and franchises seem to dominate the shelves. It can be overwhelming, to say the least. With so many best selling series and books out there, it's easy to stick with what we know and love rather than venturing out into the unknown. But that's exactly what we need to do. Take a step back, explore beyond the usual suspects. The truth is, some of the most talented fantasy authors are flying under your radar, and it's up to us to dig them up. One major obstacle readers face is the sheer volume of books out there. With new releases coming out every week, it's hard to know where to start. And let's be honest, social media and the online book communities can be overwhelming. Everyone has an opinion, and it's difficult to sift through the noise to find the hidden gems. But that's exactly what we're going to do today. Uncover some of the most talented, yet perhaps underrated fantasy authors out there. Imagine being able to discover a new favorite author, one who speaks directly into your soul. That's what I'm hoping to achieve with this video, to introduce you to some amazing writers who might just become your new obsession. Let's talk about some of the fantasy authors who I think deserve some recognition. And that's not to say they're all my favorites, but they're all spectacular writers. Firstly, we have N.K. Jemisin, a stunning author known for her Broken Earth trilogy. Her unique blend of fantasy and science fiction, it's earned her a devoted following and literary awards. And her writing is both beautiful and thought-provoking. Then there's V.E. Schwab, who has made a name for herself with her Shades of Magic series while demonstrating unique narrative skill in the standalone novel The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Her writing is meticulous, and her world building is incredibly detailed. Both of these authors have a distinct voice that sets them apart from the rest, and I think they're definitely worth checking out. Next up, R.F. Kuang, a newer author on the scene who has already made a significant impact. Her debut trilogy, The Poppy War, it's a masterclass in world building and character development. Her unique take on Chinese history and mythology is fascinating, and her writing is both vivid and immersive, and a little dark. This episode would be incomplete if we didn't add our favorite overlooked fantasy author these days, Matthew Woodring Stover, whose four-book series, The Acts of Cain, blends fantasy with a little science fiction while flipping reader preconceptions completely on their head. He eats fantasy tropes for breakfast, explores incredibly deep themes, and skillfully implements a considerable variety of writing techniques that give you a fascinating literary experience. Does the word Malazan have any meaning to you? Author Steven Erikson would like to make it so. His Malazan Book of the Fallen is the most comprehensive and vast example of world building that I've yet to come across, creating a world and a narrative where there is no one specific main character, no one key storyline, yet so many characters and story threads to discover, to enjoy, to care about, that you can completely lose yourself in this world he's created. No one writes epic fantasy like Steven Erikson. But among all these amazing authors, there's one who really stands out to me right now that I'd want to highlight for you, and that's Joe Abercrombie. His gritty, fast-paced writing style is both intense and addictive, and his characters are morally complex and multi-dimensional. What sets him apart is his ability to craft a compelling story that's both epic in scope and intimate in character development. His First Law trilogy is a masterpiece of fantasy literature, and I think more people need to read it. And once you do, you'll be glad to know that there are more books to read in First Law. So let's recap the authors we've discussed today: N.K. Jemisin, V.E. Schwab, R.F. Kuang, Matthew Stover, Stephen Erickson, Joe Abercrombie. These are just a few examples of the many talented fantasy authors out there who, while certainly successful, I think deserve even more recognition. I hope this video has inspired you to explore beyond your usual suspects and discover some new favorite authors. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to share your favorite underrated fantasy authors in the comments below. If you're looking for more book recommendations, be sure to check out the other videos on our channel. Zach and I have a ton of literary goodness to share with you. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.